All right. Just making sure you can hear me okay. So it's Sam Abdallah. We did miss you for our appointment at 2 o'clock. We were trusting to get a hold of you to discuss purchasing an investment property. So I did send you an email showing you the power of one property, really how to get the best ROI. So watch that video. It's going to show you kind of what the foundations of buying one investment property, and what it can do for you. What we're looking to do is actually utilize the equity that you have in your home, and pull out some of that equity to buy another investment property. And today we're going to show you some of the returns on some of these properties that are available and the investment opportunities, as well as increasing the value of the property and why you may want to work with us in helping you do that. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. First of all, a little bit about us. We've been servicing the Waterloo region for 10 years. And I'm an investment focused realtor here, helping landlords and sellers sell their investment properties and residential resale in the Waterloo region. We specifically help clients that are looking to up level their investments. So right now, a lot of people though are just getting their first investment property and want to know how they can do that and how they can utilize equity in their home. So today I'm going to show you a little bit about how our process works and how it is to work with us. We do also co-author of a book called Real Estate Real Life and run a podcast called Build Your Health, Wealth, and Legacy. We talk to a lot of great real estate investors about that. So we really believe in adding value and helping as many people as possible. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And we're just going to look at a couple investment type of properties and see what is a good option, why not, what works and what doesn't work. So a lot of the times, first of all, when people are talking about return on investment, that's just broken down into three things. Appreciation, which is about up to 3% a year, just being conservative. Over the last 40 years, we've had about a 5%, even though the market's had ups and downs. We still have a lack of housing, and also increasing the value of the income that you put into that property can also help with creating more income for that property, more value for that property, and what that property is worth. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to show you the Waterloo region here in some actual life examples of what has sold. What we like to focus on, if you're just starting out, is a basic bungalow in the region, something about 30 years old, 40, 50 years old. We're going to stay away from century homes, heritage homes. There's a million different strategies. So we're just going to simplify what that looks like so you can get an idea of what is the best thing for you, but also helping you make a really good investment decision that's going to make sense for you and address any common concerns that you might have. So we're just going to look in here at a price point at 600,000. So an investment property, you'd be putting 20% down, maybe even 35% down, depending if you wanted a positive cash flow. And the cash flow is just the income minus the expenses after the mortgage is also paid. So servicing the mortgage debt. And we'll talk about that in a second. So when you look at this, we have about 9 matches. And we have one on Glen Road. So this is a great example. So in Kitchener and Forest Hill area. So we can pull a map on it and a geo warehouse. So I like this one. It's in a good area. It's a good property, easy to rent, simple. This is actually pretty good. So to turn this into a duplex, you would just have to be mindful of ceiling height, permits. You're probably looking at 3-month project, maybe construction, but all the stages of making sure that it's into a duplex. But if you're looking at about, generally we've seen in 150,000 for a conversion. But in this case, I mean, if you just have to put in about 80 to 100,000 to get the whole property converted to a duplex, that could be a good win for you. So we're going to take this as a case study here and analyze an example right now. So I'm just going to share my proforma here. We'll jump right into it. Let's go into this. And I'm just going to go into first, why would you want to invest in a property? There's a couple reasons. You're using leverage. So if you can service the debt and you're in a good situation, it definitely is worth looking at it. If you're not able to service the debt, then that's a different story. So you obviously have to look and see if it makes sense for you. But if you have a lot of equity you can draw from and you want to minimize your risk, doing a duplex conversion could be a great opportunity. And we'll talk about this one. So this one here, what we're going to do is we're going to look at if you added 100,000 to this property and it was now a duplex. And when we run the numbers on a duplex, we're seeing a duplex, let's say in really good condition, probably about 750. Conservative, it gone are the days of 900, 950, 1 million, 1.1. That's when the average price was, but let's be conservative and say it's about 730. Okay. 730 for a duplex, I think is very fair in today's market as we're sitting here in November 2023. So when we look at it, we are going to run the numbers based on that. So we know that this is a duplex on the main level. You have a bed, 3 bedrooms. You're looking at about 2450. And then downstairs, we're looking at, let's say we're looking at about 1850. We're looking at 4,300 a month. We have 5% gross vacancy rate. So that's pretty fair. We'll leave it at that. Property taxes on this one. We can get the numbers, but generally you're looking at about $240 a month. Insurance, about 100. Repairs and maintenance, your property management, which is standard, and condo fees is 0. So you have your gross operating income and you have your net operating expenses before the mortgage. So you have, with 35% down, it's going to cash flow $400 a month. Now, if you wanted to put 20, it's going to be a negative number. Now, let's say it's a negative number. Well, we look at this ROI, you return on your investment. So your principal recapture is your pay down of the interest and your appreciation at, let's say, even just 3% a year. You're still getting a 17% return on your money. So think about that, right? Where are you getting 17% return? You're probably not getting it at the bank. GIC 1%, 2%, 3%. So, focusing on a strategy that could help boost your cash flow. Because if this was, you're spending about 100,000 to get another housing unit. So it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. If it wasn't a duplex, you'd be looking, it wouldn't really work at all. You'd be looking at half this income and the return would be a lot less. So it makes a lot of sense to take a single home, turn it into a duplex, bungalow duplex, and call it a day. So this would be a return on your investment. If you put 35%, if you put 30% down, you'd be at a cash flow of $212 a month and a 14% return on your money. Pretty good. Also, that doesn't account for the fact of if with the shortage of housing, more people come back to the market, that prices increase even more. You have more equity that you built in and you have more people paying down something else. So that could be a great retirement plan for you. If you're retiring, you want to retire on that equity, or you're a nurse or someone self-employed, you want kind of a safe nest egg. This could be a great option for you as well. Okay. So that's something that we recommend. Now, some of the things that we offer our clients exclusively is we only work with 5 people at a time. Generally, to work with us, there's a fee, but right now we're actually waiving that fee. Our services are paid by the seller. And so if you work with us, our services will be covered by the seller, meaning that you have the ability to, pick our brain for us to analyze every single property. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. And right now we're offering this up to a few people to work with us. We're also going to run a full market analysis and get you all our contacts. So you're going to get our landlord tool. So if you need tenant screening or anything like that, which I'll show you that in a second, some really, really cool tools that we have for our investor clients, people buying investment property with us. And what that just means is that you're agreeing to hire us as your agent. So that's all that is. So let's say you rent your property, you want to rent your property, you're concerned about tenants. So I would say first, get property management to property screen your tenants. Here's a tool that we created called the landlord tool. And what you do is you can go on here, you can look up the different vendors that will control and help you through each process. So single key, here's what they do. Tenant screening, rent guarantee, they have an insurance, so they guarantee your rent, damage unit protection. And we also offer a paralegal consultation, complimentary, if you're selling your investment property or you need help. There's a YouTube channel, which is just Affluence Real Estate Group. So the benefits here are increased security. We've been doing this for a long time. You can definitely get better returns if you have the right strategy. We're simplifying our strategy, and we're getting properties, even if they're on the market, that are going to be solid investments. That are going to be long-term plays that make sense financially, that you can increase value, and in the long run keep as a retirement plan, if you so choose. That's a little bit about us. We're expert, certified negotiation expert. So we have a lot of tools in our back pocket to understand how to negotiate. Here's some other things. Front lobby, they report rents. So these are bottom line things that can protect you as a landlord when you're buying an investment property, you're picking a strategy, or you're buying your first one. I mean, we're not getting super complex. We're not talking about 20 different strategies. We're just talking about one particular strategy. Here's our step process. So tips for landlords: consult with your marketing, consult with our team, do evaluation, identify savings, get your paralegal consult, talk to the vendors, and either list or reposition the property. Rentius, so they take the mystery out of notices. So if you want to take the mystery out of all your landlord notices, you want to know what's what and fill it out properly so the board registers it. That's great. And then I just wrote a blog there. Again, this is not legal advice, but the point is if you have a tenanted property, contact us, because you can reach out at 519-574-3532. The bottom lies in a link tree in there too. You want to reach out because if the tenant is causing an issue, you can get a paralegal, and by listing the property, potentially you can move that process forward through mediation, which can help with the eviction process if the tenant is not cooperating and not being a good tenant, and that you have to sell anyway. And their podcast as well, which is Build Your Health, Wealth, and Legacy. So that's all that we offer in a nutshell. Again, summarize, pick a simple strategy, work it. There are demystifying investing in real estate is really not that complicated. We simplified it in a couple of easy steps, and working with us exclusively gets you access to our community of investors and others. So we look forward to talking to you, to seeing you. If there's any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to help any way we can, and have an amazing day. Thanks.